Financial crisis, profits go up. Mass unemployment, profits go up. Global pandemic, profits go up. War in Europe, profits go up. Increasing energy costs, profits go up. When supply chains ground to a halt when Putin invaded Ukraine and the economy reopened and demand surged everywhere all at once, the rest of us saw problems to solve. But in many corporate boardrooms, executives instead saw an opportunity. For the largest multinational corporations, inflation has been a perfect excuse to increase profits by raising prices far beyond the costs of their inputs. The main tool that many in this town look toward to rescue us from inflation, hiking interest rates, can do little to solve that problem. It's little wonder then that when American workers see the high prices at the grocery store, at the pharmacy counter, at the gas pump, along with rising borrowing costs for mortgages and credit cards and car loans, they remain skeptical of government and its willingness to address the challenges people face. Inflation, of course, is a complex problem. The Fed's been fighting it with a blunt tool, and we made progress. Inflation is at the lowest level in the last 2 years, giving hope that the price of consumer goods will continue to decline. And despite the experts' prediction, job growth remains strong. The country added 339,000 new jobs in May. Ohio's unemployment rate, 3.6%, is the state's lowest in 20 years. Unemployment for Black and brown Americans remains near historic lows. Think about what actually means for workers in Alabama and Ohio and North Dakota and Louisiana and Minnesota and South Carolina. What that actually means for workers all over the country. It means Americans have more opportunity and choice in their lives, even in places they haven't seen a lot of options in recent years. It means people have the power to demand raises and retirement security and paid sick days and control over their schedules. It means more Americans have the dignity of work that comes with a good job that can provide for your family. And look where that kind of power for workers is taking us. Last month, wage growth outpaced inflation. That's the way it should be. Today's hearing comes at a critical time. Last week, the Fed decided to pause interest rate hikes after 10 consecutive increases and to maintain the rate at its current level. For the many of us who are concerned that further rate hikes could do more harm than good, it's welcome news. The challenge you face, Chair Powell, is to ensure that workers continue to see higher wages while also continuing to rein in inflation. In previous hearings, you've noted with justifiable pride how careful management of the economy helped millions of workers return to the job market. It's those workers who stand to lose the most if the Fed overdoes its rate hikes, loses sight of the dual mandate, and drives the unemployment rate back up. As you've also noted, Mr. Chair, increasing interest rates is not the only tool we have to fight inflation. The Fed is not the only one with a role to play. Congress, the administration, everyone in government and corporate boardrooms must do their part. There's no reason we can't continue coming together to bring prices down. More policymakers are finally recognizing what those of us in Ohio have known for years, that outsourcing the production of pretty much everything.
Good evening, friends. Happy Independence Day. They are getting ready to pass it. GOP lawmakers in the House are moving to vote on a stopgap spending bill this month. This will prevent a government shutdown this year, but cuts to programs like Medicare and Social Security also may be finalized. My dearest friends, can you please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video for the latest news in Congress? Also, to say thank you for being part of this community, I will be announcing a winner today for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Now, friends, House GOP leaders are discussing the possibility of putting a stopgap spending bill on the floor as soon as this month. This is as a fail-safe option. This is also while they try to build support for passing fiscal 2024 appropriation bills that currently appear on shaky ground. According to aides familiar with the conversations, the idea is to have a stopgap in place to continue government funding past September 30th, 2023. That move would avoid a partial government shutdown in October if the Senate also passed a stopgap and President Biden signed it into law. Some Republicans view passing a stopgap ahead of time as a way to take a shutdown off the table, thereby skirting some of the pressure from Democrats to accept a catch-all bill that will have higher spending than conservatives want. GOP leaders are holding ongoing discussions with rank and file members to try to build enough support to pass all the full-year fiscal 2024 bills. They recognize that additional changes may be needed to get the 218 votes usually needed for passage. But some hardline conservatives might still block the consideration of any bills that do not cut spending, despite GOP leaders having already acceded to many of their demands. Leadership's preference is to find a way to pass the annual appropriations bill to set up a strong negotiating position with the Senate. Just 5 Republicans can block any of the bills, as Democrats are expected to be unified against them. GOP leaders have sought to build consensus, partly by setting spending allocations below the top-line levels agreed to in last month's debt limit suspension law. But in a narrowly divided House, some members of the Freedom Caucus are threatening to withhold their support as they seek deeper cuts. GOP Representative Ralph Norman, a Freedom Caucus member, has recently told reporters, "I am very frustrated. I don't know how we can get off this train of continuous spending." Ralph Norman also said he could not support a leadership plan to tap roughly $115 billion from previously appropriated but unspent funds to boost spending. There is no immediate need for a stopgap measure this month, since the fiscal year does not end until September 30th, 2023. But if House Republicans cannot agree on a regular spending bill, they will be at a disadvantage when they go into the bargaining table with the Senate. The ultimate fallback option would be a full-year continuing resolution, but that measure would not appease anyone and could face opposition from multiple fronts. So, dear friends, what should our government do to reduce the U.S. debt? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. House conservatives have also proposed raising the U.S. retirement age to collect Social Security. The proposal by the 176-member House Republican Study Committee would gradually increase the retirement age, ultimately hitting 69 years old for those turning 62 in 2033. The current retirement age for full benefits is 66 years old and rising gradually to 67. Democrats successfully used similar proposals from fiscal conservatives to their advantage in the 2022 midterm election. Under the plan, benefits for current retirees would not be cut, but for those expecting an earlier retirement benefit, lifetime payouts will be lower. The group has abandoned a proposal from last year that would have increased a Medicare retirement age, but they do seek to further privatize the program. House Republicans and President Biden got into an agreement during the State of the Union address in February, after Biden said some in the GOP favored cuts to Medicare and Social Security. But RSC members said the group has a responsibility to push their perilous proposal, casting it as a more sustainable option than leaving the programs untouched. Representative Kevin Hern, the group's chairman, said failing to change the program would lead to an eventual 23% benefit cut to all Social Security recipients and 11% cut to Medicare provider payments. It would eventually help the federal budget in 7 years by cutting some $16 trillion in spending and $5 trillion in taxes. So, dearest friends, what are your thoughts about all of these proposals? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Independence Day. Thank you so much, friends, for being here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing a surprise winner in a video later today for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful, safe, and happy Independence Day.